right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Start 'em Bet 'em Fantasy Football Podcast, where gambling meets fantasy. I'm your host, Brendan Shelly. I'm with my guy, Dan Ambrose. Dan, what's going on, dude?
Not much. Pretty good Thursday night for you and for me. So we got lucky on that over at the end there. And Carson Wentz looks terrible.
It was bad. It's crazy because I did well, but I should have done so much better if Wentz had just run like twice. He just didn't get out of that pocket. He tried to make things work inside that little confined space. He's getting destroyed. I mean, a couple of those stats, he's holding on the ball for 9 seconds some plays. Like, guess what, buddy? You're going to get sacked. It's the NFL. It didn't make any sense. He got destroyed. How many sacks was that? I stopped counting at one point.
It was 5 because I've seen when Wentz was crying off the field there towards the end, they already are at 5. So
I like Herbstreit. Like, dude, don't be a bitch. Your whole team's watching. There's a lot more games to play.
Are we ready to start talking about Kevin O'Connell being made by Sam Darnold? Or are we still too early for that?
It's way too early for that.
Okay. All right.
He's
supposed
Kevin
to be some
O'Connell.
offensive god. He is figuring it out right now. Just because you are a good offensive coordinator doesn't make you a good head coach.
Josh McDaniels is a key contributor to that statistic by far. Another guy, Arthur Smith. I can't stand Arthur Smith. He is the cock blocker of fantasy points because he gives obscure ass guys that work for different situations in football. I mean, it's a good coach, but from a fantasy football standpoint, you hate those guys. That was a interesting game. A lot of my bets hit. A lot of your bets hit. The big one that you had was the over. I loved it as well. I followed you. I call about just an absolute blowout, and you agreeing with me was the case. I should have aggressively found higher lines at like 8 or 9 and just bet them, like I said in our podcast last week. Obviously, they would have covered. So, wow. They look like crap, the Vikings. Everything about them. And it was nice to see the Chargers on 4 days rest just come and dice them up.
Yeah, I mean, it was desperation mode, right? I mean, that's kind of what we were talking about last episode. It was like almost a must-win for the Dodgers. That too.
The Chargers, I got you. Yep. And they gave the ball to Kamani Vidal. I said that too. So I was very excited that they followed the game plan because what they hadn't been doing, they moved away from the run about week 11 last season. They were failing miserably with the run. And then they finally said, you know what, Herbert, do your thing. And Herbert just lit it up. So they stuck with that going into this game. At one point, I watched the Prime with the statistics. I forget what it's called, the AWS mode or whatever, where they break it down. And the guy said that they've leaned more into the run this game than any other game in the season, which was obvious. They stuck with it. Sometimes your run doesn't work. Stick with it. Look what happens. When you have a play action that actually scares a defense, then they're going to be fooled. You will actually open the field for your receivers. That's what happens. If you don't run the ball, you can't do a play action. People won't believe it. That's the bottom line.
Or if your quarterback can't throw the ball like Wentz, then you're screwed.
Boy, that was bad. He looked good versus Eagles, his throws. His arm power is still there. This game, the pocket collapsed every play around him, and he just held on to the ball so long.
That one drive, I think it was early in the first or second quarter, he held on. They were driving, and then he just held on to it and essentially got out of field goal range. Yeah,
sack after sack. It was bizarre. I told you, he's fighting for his career at this point. I mean, that's it. This is his last opportunity as being a number one, in my opinion.
He's done. He's not. Are we over JJ? Is JJ not coming back or what?
This was a showcase to go play for somebody else. That's
why you had breaking news that you've given up on JJ.
Well, this affirms my thought that JJ's back next week. No matter what. Good for JJ.
I mean, Jameis Winston's still out there. Russell Wilson's still out there. There's plenty of opportunity out there.
Oh, my God. Russell Wilson, what a mess. Going back and forth with Sean Payton. Well, let's hit some games this weekend. Any updates you want to give post our Tuesday call? I don't think so, right?
I don't think so. It doesn't sound like there was anything. I guess Lamar is playing for sure. I know it was a little question mark before. But,
and Jaden's 100% out, like we thought. Jaden Daniels is out 100%. Yep. Looks like Calvin Ridley's not playing. We already talked about that. Who cares? Go back and listen. We talked about all of it. So here we are. Let's start hitting these games, Dan. What do you got going on this weekend?
So my first game that I got a lot of morning games, or I guess afternoon for you East Coast people. Dolphins-Falcons. That was the first game I really liked. And it's probably my favorite bet of the week, too. I love the Falcons in this situation. Just the Dolphins look terrible. Falcons looked absolutely atrocious last Sunday. They're going back home, playing in a dome. I think they just light Miami up.
I can see that. I also can see the Dolphins' desperation mode, too, and getting any points they can get. So
I think that's over. I think
Okay. Well,
with McDaniel's comments and everything like that,
yeah, that was
Tua's
bizarre.
given like they're just all
Mhm.
it's a mess. Nobody wants
Well,
to be
we're
there.
betting on their kicker this week. So we're going to go
All
Riley
right.
Patterson
I can get
over
behind that.
6.5 points. It's at even money. To me, a lot of people are, it's a lot of points for a Dolphins kicker, 7 points, but he's done it and he can do it again. He gets a couple field goals and a couple extra points. You got it. I'm not worried about that. And their offense sucks. They're going to sputter out. They're going to take the points that they can get early on in the game to try to stay competitive. Mike McDaniel's trying to save his job. He's usually more aggressive. I can see him trying to get these points to just keep an even keel and try to stay in these games. I can see that early in the game. Now, when the game gets away from them, like Dan's saying, and I could probably foresee that as well, then this bet's kaput. So hopefully he gets in that first half or we're screwed. He needs at least one field goal in the first half or we're screwed, in my opinion.
Does he coach like as a coordinator again?
Oh, yeah.
You think
100%.
so?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think he's flipped the switch right this last, I'd say, year and a half. I don't know. He just seems like he's just like out of it, or I mean, I don't know. It's been
well, that's the running joke. He's moved to Miami. He's doing cocaine. Like he looks like Scarface. Like that's the running joke with him. But I mean, in reality, you're right. Something's unhinged. That he's just not comprehending that it's funny to be that awkward guy and to show no emotions and say your bizarre shit. But after a while, it's like when you're losing, it's not funny anymore. Right. It's not funny anymore. You can't talk about your captains the way you talked about them on live television. It's just, it doesn't work like that. And so, the evolution of McDaniels is well documented and hilarious. If you haven't seen it, just look it up. The guy's wearing a suit. His first press conference, the last one, he's got a visor on and shades and looks like he just came out of a nightclub at 2 p.m. He's a mess. And I think he enjoys that persona. I think he loves the attention. So
for sure.
Will he be back coaching as a coordinator? Yeah, damn sure he will. He definitely will. Yeah. He's going to be like
you're talking about Cliff Kingsbury?
Cliff Kingsbury, exactly. That's the guy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the guy that I'm associating McDaniels with, the offensive genius, and he gets a coaching job based off that. Does okay. He has some excitement, gets a lot of players playing decent, and then it just falls off a cliff. And that's what we've seen here with Miami. He had his run. I guess people figured him out. I don't know. It's just they don't have the tools that they had in the past, and it's showing. It's the only way I can say it. Yeah. Besides Stephon Achane. Anything else with that game?
No, I think, like I said, I think they just run away with it, and Falcons get back on track, and I think this might be McDaniel's last game too. So.
Okay. I would say that's a bold prediction, but if they get blown out, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of keeping the guy around if everybody's miserable? So.
Right, stupid.
My next game I took was the Browns versus Patriots. I like the Browns here at +7. I think the line's a little high. The Browns, I am not sold at all on Dylan Gabriel, but Judkins is playing out of his mind right now.
Yes,
so
Judkins is legit.
Going, then I think the Browns can stay in it. Their defense is good enough to stay in it.
Agree. I've been very happy with Judkins, the progress that he's had, literally coming off the street and taking over that role with such ease. It's been hilarious. Dylan Sampson fell off the face of the earth. Jerome Ford, where are they? You don't need them anymore. It's nice to see Judkins just dominating. It's a few bright spots there, and he's one of them. And outside of that, Harold Fannin, that's fun to watch as well. But the Browns, they're not fun. They're not we'll see what Dylan Gabriel can do.
I don't think there's any chance in hell they win. They just
this game versus the Pats. Yeah, I don't think so.
I think Patriots.
I think it'll be hard fought.
Yeah.
I can see this being a hard fought game, divisional game. They know each other very well. We'll see what happens with this. I do have a bet that I like in this game. I want to forewarn everybody. I haven't bet any of these yet. These are just my notes on these games. I like Kayshon Boutte. I like him at over 2.5 catches for the season. He's averaging 2.9 a game. The last 3 or 4 games you've seen, he's been exceptional. He's been catching balls that most people shouldn't be catching. He's getting more and more involved in that offense, and I think his talent's shining through, and I can see them really spinning up plays to get him the ball because they should. Over 2.5 catches, I think it was at plus money too. So for me, this is a lock. I think it's plus 105. So I love that bet in this game. It might be my bet of the weekend, to be honest.
He's been playing
well, really is. He's been awesome. He's been his main man. I mean, you had Stephon Diggs step up versus former team. That was cool to see. But outside of that, he's been mediocre at best. You know, he's not running clean routes. He's not getting open. There's no separation. Where Kayshon Boutte, he's not only getting open, but if he's covered, he's going up and getting that ball, which I love to see that. And right now, they don't have anybody else. He had Hunter Henry to be that guy, but he doesn't have the speed, obviously, that a wide receiver has like Butte. So, yeah, I'm going to go booty there. So 2.5 catches plus 105. I love that bet.
Then we'll move to your second favorite team behind the Jets. That is the Giants versus the Eagles game. So the Eagles are minus 7.5. What did you bet here?
I like Theo Johnson. He's made us money a few games this season. He's getting more and more involved in that offense, and obviously Dart trusts him, and he looks for him. So Theo Johnson over 3.5 catches. Eagles have a pretty banged up defensive ends, linebackers / secondary safeties, the guys that are supposed to stick on Theo Johnson and stick on those tall, athletic tight ends. We don't really have the body right now. So unless our defense can scheme something up, Theo Johnson is probably going to get 4 or 5 catches, maybe by the third quarter, in my opinion, or middle of the third quarter. So that's going to be their main target. They also, the wide receiver ones on each team usually do well versus the Eagles, unfortunately. We've been slaughtered a few games this season. So I like Wan'Dale Robinson here. He's a great route runner. And, Cooper DeJeans does well, but the big guy, Quinyon Mitchell, he's not been, in my opinion, I don't think he's been playing as well as he did last year. He's been holding a lot. He's been getting a lot of PIs. So I think they're going to try to explore them. And I think Wan'Dale Robinson's going to get over 51.5 receiving yards. I still think the Eagles win, but this negative script actually helps us anyway.
Yeah. So I think that we see the ass kicking that we saw a couple Thursdays ago. I just don't think they're going to win by more than 7. So I took 7.5 for the Giants on this game.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That's a lot of points to give a hot team, and they're going to be playing angry because of their performance last week. Either they're going to really suck this week because that shook them up so much, or they're going to come out determined to just destroy the Eagles like they did before. And they're confident, man. They're playing with swag. 7.5. I actually like the Giants in that game as well. I won't bet it only because I like talking to my family.
So
yeah.
The next one is the one game I'm a little bit concerned about, but I don't think I should be. So the 49ers play the Texans. Texans are minus 1.5. My projections actually have 49ers at minus 3. I'm taking the 49ers plus 1.5.
Yeah.
I just think that I worry a little bit about the Texans defense. They're good.
Mm-hmm. They're very good.
Stroud does not look good. So I think that he's going to struggle against that, and 49ers will do enough to win.
Agree. And I think Nico's out. Didn't he get hurt? I think he was hurt last game.
Yeah, I'm not sure
if
he's
bit.
playing or not. I don't know if that's been determined. I did see that he was questionable, though.
It doesn't matter. I like this prop bet in this game. Woody Marks, the guy's been stepping up more and more every game. Pretty solid running back, little guy, but he gets out and gets open. So I got him at over 1.5 receptions. We all see how C.J. Stroud's playing. In the past, he's done well connecting with his tight ends and his running backs, getting him in a rhythm. Then he can look downfield. I think they're going to try to move back to that model because he's not playing well. He's not making smart decisions. He needs to get in that groove. They need to do anything to get him on track, and getting those little outs to the running backs is the way to go there. And Woody Marks is the guy right now. There's nobody else. They got Nick Chubb, who's doesn't have the same step. It's nice to see him out there. I'm a big Nick Chubb fan, but he doesn't have that quickness he used to have. And obviously Joe Mixon's dead still. So Woody Marks, man. Woody Marks is the guy. He's stepping into this role. So I like that a lot. Over 1.5 catches.
Speaking of dead, coming back from the dead is Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
What do you think about this Bears-Ravens game? So the Ravens are 6.5.
I like the Ravens by 10 in this game. Yeah, I really do. I haven't been impressed with what I've seen from the Bears. They're too inconsistent. I've seen some flashes of brilliance. I've seen some of that Ben Johnson offense coming out, but I also see a quarterback that can't execute it. Like, he's had some good games. He's looked more efficient than he has. Then all of a sudden he falls off the face of the earth. I think the Ravens need a statement game. They haven't been playing well. They're getting their guy back, Lamar Jackson, and John Harbaugh is going to do everything he can to disrupt his day for Caleb Williams. I'm expecting old Ravens, up to their old tricks, and I'm not going to bet Mark Andrews, but I do like that bet. But I'm going to go with his counterpart, Isaiah Likely, over 2.5 catches at plus 115. The reason why I'm going with him and not Mark Andrews is not because of pure hatred, because Andrews bending me over every goddamn week until I don't bet him, and then he finally shows up. No, it's because Isaiah Likely is another guy that they love to give him the ball, and he's exciting, and he's getting healthier every week. And now his guy, Lamar Jackson's back, and Lamar knows where to find him. So expect those 20, 25-yard catches, right by the sideline, as Lamar rolls out, because Isaiah always knows where to go to get that pocket. So over 2.5 catches at plus 115, I think that's a great bet. I'm very happy with that one, and I can see him easily getting 4 or 5 catches and probably 80 or 90 receiving yards. I think it's going to be a big game for Likely.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think the offense looks obviously much better whenever Lamar's playing. I still just worry about that defense. So that defense hasn't looked good all year. Even whenever Lamar played at the beginning, they weren't that great, right? So I think the Bears actually keep it close. I wish I would have got on this earlier in the week. It was at 7. I'm not going to bet it at 6.5, but I do like that plus side. But we'll see if the game, maybe it changes and goes up. I'll probably take the Bears in this one.
Look, if it goes to the Bears, I'm happy with that. I have so many shares of Caleb Williams. I'm screwed with him.
Yeah, that's true, right?
The offseason, he was like my goal because he had such a down year. That's when you scoop these guys up in Dynasty. And I did. I aggressively went for him and got, in my mind, discounted. And now I see that, no, I paid market value.
So let's go to your game that you've been waiting for all week. Your Jets versus the Bengals. You got
for first time listeners,
Fields coming out there. Is Fields even going to
first time listeners? He's not probably. First time listeners, I'm not a Jets fan. I just want to make that very clear. I've just had a lot. I guess I was very high on Justin Fields. It's been a
understatement.
Yeah, it is. It is, because I put my money where my mouth is. I drafted him to back it up. I traded for him in leagues, and oh my God, I want
what was
every
bad
share
too?
to be
You had
burned
people
to the
backing
ground.
you up. All your fantasy people are like,
yeah.
"Oh yeah, he's the man. He's a really, really good." We are in week 8, and this is what happened. This is what I said was going to happen. You can't lose games and still keep a job. So it's not a full season gig for him.
It's amazing to hear, and now he's come back and commented about Woody. Like, yeah, I didn't hear it until the media told me about it. I'm not going to talk to him. He can talk to me. It's so weird. And he's got another year in his contract. Sure. So this is going to be a fun offseason. Nobody's going to try to trade for him. He's going to have to outright release him, give him his money, and then Fields can go be a journeyman again. That's probably what's going to happen. I think he said, like, if we need to talk, he can talk to me. I'm not going to go to him. That's pretty much what he said. It wasn't like he can tell it to my face. Oh. He was like, I don't know what to tell you. He can come talk to me about it. That's kind of all he said. And they said, you're going to talk to him? He said, no, I'm not. It's funny because you hear all that shit from multiple people too. It's just Woody Johnson and his family are bizarre. I think he loves to bring up Madden ratings and stuff his kid does. Like, you don't want to do that, dude. You don't want to do that as you roll in an NFL team. That's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing to the organization, but not as embarrassing as Justin Fields' play. As Woody Johnson commented, I agree with you, Woody. Yeah. Right. It's pretty embarrassing. I did have a few bets. I did make a bet. Yeah, I went with, I stuck with the kickers. Kickers been making us money, man. We got 1 on an under. We got 3 on an over this season so far. So we're going to stick with that. They're playing the Bengals. Remember, the Bengals still have a shitty defense, everybody. I want to make that very clear. We're going with Nick Folk over 5.5 points at minus 120. I like that only because similar situation to McDaniels. They'll take what they can get. And obviously this offense is going to sputter. They're going to have to kick some field goals. Nick Folk, 5.5 points, minus 120. It's worth the squeeze. This other bet is a higher squeeze, but I still like it. He made us money last week. He was the starter. He's averaging more than this. It's Noah Fant, the tight end now for Cincinnati. He had a nice touchdown, a couple receptions last week. He seems to be a comfort zone for Joe Flacco. You look what he did with Njoku. He elevated him unbelievably for Cleveland. You look what he did when he was in Indianapolis. I think it was Kylan Granson. Like, they had random-ass people there. And he always looks for those tight ends. I like Noah Fant over 2.5 catches. It's at minus 165. I'm fine with that. I can even go up to 3.5 at, like, maybe hopefully that's like minus 120. I haven't really looked yet, or maybe even money. I'm not sure, but I feel comfortable with that as well. So Noah Fant over 2.5 catches. I can see him getting 4. So I'm very happy with that bet. Flacco's going to get it to him often and early.
Yeah. So only thing I'll say about this game is I don't think you're going to see the Flacco we did against Pittsburgh, right? Like that, you're not going to get 400-yard Flacco. Yeah. So you would think that scoring's going to be down a little bit. I didn't bet the game. I don't really even have an opinion. I mean, you got to assume the Jets eventually are going to pull something out, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. So I guess it's not going to be with Fields. We'll see.
It still could be. We don't know. They haven't announced it. The books haven't placed anything on Taylor or Fields, so we will see. We can stick with the backup world, though. I did bet in one of the games, Panthers Bills. I don't know if you got anything on that one. What do you think of that game first? How much are the Bills going to win by?
So this is the funny one. I'm not betting it just because I don't know who's is Young out for sure. Did they say?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Actually, you know what? I thought as of yesterday he was.
Yeah.
I'll double check right now,
but
I'm not sure.
Regardless, I don't think I'm going to bet it anyways because he's either going to play and be banged up, and I'm not betting Andy Dalton. But this game, my projections have this that the Bills should only be like a 1-point favorite, and the Bills are getting 7.5 points. So
wow,
yeah. So like realistically, if they didn't have this QB, if that QB thing didn't happen, and as much as I don't like Bryce Young, I would have bet the shit out of the Panthers if he was healthy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we talked last week. I said Andy Dalton is not a drop-off, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If anything, it might even elevate the fantasy players there. How come that doesn't increase your rating?
I don't trust a week of practice with the starters. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I got you.
He's had the last 7 weeks with these guys. They've been playing. You know what I mean? I don't like doing that. I don't disagree with you. I don't think that. I don't think that Dalton is a drop off by any means. So we'll see.
Yeah, he elevated guys last year, and we bet a couple of those. The one is Jalen Coker. It came out of nowhere last year. He was an undrafted free agent, stepped in and became pretty much the de facto wide receiver 1 there wide receiver 2 next to Adam Thielen there last year. I think it continues. He's coming back healthy. He didn't do it for us last week. This week with Dalton, and I think he will. I think Dalton will get him underneath and find him in some slot routes. He's a hell of a route runner. So Jalen Coker over 2.5 catches at plus 120. I love that, man. I love those odds. I'll take that plus money all day. And we did old reliable here too. Tet McMillan, he's made his money probably 5 of the 7 weeks this year. Tet McMillan over 4.5 catches at minus 105. This goes in line with my thinking that the Bills win and Andy Dalton is not shitty. He's just meh. He's hummus, right?
I agree. Game I'm kind of looking forward to probably the most for the late afternoon games is the Cowboys Broncos game. Currently the line's at minus 3.5, but it's juiced. It's actually on the Broncos is juiced really, really low. It's like you can get it at minus 102. You can get it at even. I think I even saw plus 110. They do not want to go to 3. Whatever they do, they don't want to go to 3. So for me, I'm waiting for it to go to 3. I think eventually it will. All you Dallas Cowboy lovers keep betting it and bet it heavy so that line goes down for me. Yeah, I really hate Bo Nix and I hate betting on him, but I'll take him in this spot and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I also like one of the prop bets on here, Marvin Mims. I've spoke about him before. Just he runs great routes. He's a good receiver. He rates off the charts with Pro Football Focus and a couple other wide receiver analysts. And he showed up last week. He has one of these outbursts every few weeks. I'm hoping this week it's continuous. He hits it again this week. But Marvin Mims, over 50 yards. I mean, that could be one reception with him, the way he runs. And that's at plus 230. And you guys have seen what the Cowboys secondary looks like. Everybody and their mother gets 50 yards. Hoping that continues with Marvin Mims because I love that plus 230. I'm not going to go big on this bet, but it makes sense to put maybe a half unit on this. It's definitely worth the wager.
Sunday night game is Packers-Steelers. I don't really have an opinion on this. Everything looks about the way it should be. I kind of lean Packers. I just think the Steelers got a little bit exposed against the Bengals. I could see the Packers also doing that, but Packers haven't been playing great either.
No, they haven't been playing well. No, that's why I like the Packers as well. I think they come back strong this week and they win. I haven't really looked at the props there. I'd probably be interested in see what Josh Jacobs has for a few of them. He's been running angry coming back from that injury. He's still questionable, but questionable is like, it's a guarantee. He's always questionable, but he plays. You might as well just call him Q. It's probably his nickname.
Right. And then speaking of injuries, one guy that's probably not coming back, right, is Jaden Daniels for this game. I think Mariota's playing. He played pretty well whenever he played a couple weeks ago for him, right?
He's serviceable.
Terrible guy. But the Chiefs are minus 10.5 in this game. I'm not touching it either because of the QB situation there. I think because I lean towards going Commanders in this game, but it's not worth it for that. Hopefully I'm up thousands before that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I'm interested in to see. I haven't looked into this yet, everybody, but receiving and rushing combined for Brashard Smith Feels like the Chiefs are getting more involved in the offense. And I think if they run away with this game, as the 10 points suggests, you could see a lot of backs in there trying to get some opportunities. And Brashard Smith might get whatever you need to get over that limit. I like that bet. I like it before even them in a blowout situation. I think he's stepping in serviceably for them.
All right. And then I guess the only game we didn't go over, I kind of skipped over, was the Titans Colts. You have anything in that? I don't have anything.
Yeah, I do. I got
Okay.
2 bets, actually.
All right.
I couldn't find any for Van Jefferson. I want to find a Van Jefferson bet for the Titans. It's confirmed. We talked about Ridley's out. Both of my bets are both on that. I like the Colts defense, obviously. They're awesome. They've been playing very well. They've been carrying that team along with Daniel Jones. It's so weird to say that, but Van Jefferson stepped up nicely last week after a few guys didn't, and he's kind of reliable. He's done okay for Pittsburgh. He comes out of nowhere, has a 4 or 5 catch game. He did it all the time for the Rams, just comes out of nowhere, has a 4 or 5 catch game. This is an opportunity. He's going to be on the field a lot. He's going to be running a lot of routes. I'm assuming he's going to get involved with the target shares. I like Van Jefferson here. I just hope he gets those targets and he gets over. I don't know what the bets are. There's nothing on the apps that I've looked. The one that I do like that I did see on the apps is Gunnar Helm. I think Chigakokwu, he might be out, or I don't know. He put up a big old goose egg last week. But I do like Gunnar Helm. He's the backup tight end for the Titans, rookie. I think he's a 3rd or 4th round pick. He's very athletic, big guy. If you want to go back in preseason football, you can see some of the catches he made. He was outstanding. I was very excited to see him in this league and see how that could translate from preseason to regular season. And they haven't really given him a lot of opportunities, but the last few weeks he's finally getting involved, and I think this is the game he goes off. So Gunnar Helm over 2.5 catches at -118. Versus a Colts defense that might sleep on him because he's just, he's coming off the line with a chip block. He's going to be open.
Going back to games that we already talked about, but I did forget one of my bets that I had on there. So that Browns-Patriots game, I also took the over in the 40.5. We'll see. I'm not expecting like a shootout by any means, but I do think the Browns can hang in there, and maybe they lose 20-24 or something. So
I'm okay with that. That's enough to get Kayshon Boutte his 2.5 catches at +105.
There you go.
It's a lock. So. Sorry for the energy, folks. If you're listening, I'm running on fumes right now. I'm fucking tired. So it is currently 12:25 at night. I'm going to go to bed. So I think that ends this up, right, Dan? You have anything else?
No, well, I'm good. Hopefully have a successful Sunday like we did tonight for Thursday night.
And we did last week too, but nobody ever heard it. So I will get this edited so you folks can hear this. It's follow 50/50. Us. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, we'll see Riverside. We'll see. Riverside FM, folks. That's the application we use. Make your own judgments, but you hear us complaining about it. It's legit. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. B-Shells13, Dan's D Ambrose 04 on X. Make sure you follow us and give us likes, all that shit. Sponsors, give us a call. We're waiting. We want your money so you can make money, of course. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yo, my raps vaulted, here my memory banks that never be released. Box cut inside the apple, you're in for a treat.